So this is kind of interesting news. So the Republicans, it looks like, are going to have a very narrow majority in the House. So now they'll be controlling. So now Kevin McCarthy is going to be the speaker, it looks like, right?
Oh, boy.
So when last time when the Democrats had a very slim majority, we asked the House progressives, the squad, AOC, and those people, if they would, because Nancy Pelosi couldn't get elected as speaker without their votes, to demand something from their votes. They wouldn't. They said that what we did was violence.
It was their plan, was it not?
It was it was always their plan to force a vote for Medicare for all on the House floor. That was Nancy Pelosi's plan in the 90s. And so now when we had a chance to do it, because the Democrats had complete control of government and the House, and Nancy couldn't get elected without their votes, they didn't do it. They wouldn't do it, and then they turned on healthcare activists like us, and they smeared us. And so now they lost the House because they didn't do anything for anybody. They didn't give you a minimum wage. They didn't give you they didn't give you student debt relief. That was all bullshit. That's gone. That's not happening. They didn't give you marijuana relief. That was also bullshit. They didn't end the wars and invest that money back here. They voted to expand the wars and give billions of dollars to them. So that's why they lost. Right? Because the Democrats never do anything for you. They wouldn't even give you a $2,000 check that they said they would give you explicitly, and they wouldn't do that. So now they lost, and so now the other corporate party is in control. Not much is going to change. But the conservative hardliners, so the extreme right wing in of the Republican Party, is demanding something for their vote from the speaker. You remember the Democrats wouldn't do that, and we were all told we don't know how politics work. Well, now the Freedom Caucus, meaning the extreme right wing of the Republican Party, they're actually going to demand shit, and they're getting it. So the progressives, the extreme left wing of the Democratic Party, they would not demand anything. In fact, they caved to the Democratic establishment, the pro-war, pro-Wall Street, anti-worker establishment leaders of their party. The Progressive Caucus caved to them, and they've never, ever done anything for you like they said they would. They won't ever use their leverage. They won't use their leverage. They had leverage. They won't use it. They have leverage. They're using the shit out of it already. Remember when we couldn't force a vote on Medicare or use any leverage of any kind on Pelosi to do anything at all because Kevin McCarthy might become Speaker of the House? Well, guess what? We still don't have Medicare for all. We don't. And Roe versus Wade got killed under the Democrats. And now Kevin McCarthy is actually Speaker. And you never got your vote on fucking Medicare for all. You never got minimum wage. You never got anything. And he's fucking Speaker anyway. Wah, wah.
I can't believe many people said that to you about people that I know personally. I was telling you before.
Yeah.
Who don't know anything. Have said this Kevin McCarthy line when I didn't know who the hell he was, and I know they didn't know who he was, but that was the repeated Kevin McCarthy will be the speaker.
Yeah.
So you know, Sorota's a scumbag for ever saying that.
That's right.
That was a Operation Mockingbird kind of repeated phrase.
That's exactly
by
right.
Everybody.
So let's see, what are they demanding? The Freedom Caucus is angling to include a provision within the House rules package allowing for any member to offer at any time a motion to vacate the Speaker's chair. I didn't know that they didn't have that already. That's a change it will push for, assuming Republicans take control of the House. Well, it looks like they are going to take control of the House, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The parliamentary gambit would let hardline members force a vote. What? On retaining the Speaker. A process that conservatives used to paralyze the House during the Tea Party era. So what they're saying is that conservatives actually used their leverage against their own speaker when they were in power. The Democrats didn't, which is why they lost power immediately, because they didn't legislate for the people. They legislated for their corporate donors. And so they want this rule in there. Now, the Republicans actually are going to use their leverage on their speaker because even they know that he's just Pelosi without stock tips. Imagine if Republicans didn't have all the wrong morals, or if Democrats had any at all. Just imagine. So they're going to force this, right? Hey, in order for you to become speaker, we want the ability to have a vote to get rid of you as speaker at any moment. At any moment. Or you're not going to become speaker. Every member of Congress was elected to legislate on behalf of their constituents, said Representative Andy Biggs, an Arizona Republican and former leader of the Freedom Caucus. To do that, members must be able to hold their own leadership accountable, something the Democrats will never do. And guys like Cenk Uygur, Ryan Grimm, and David Sirota will apologize. They will protect politicians if you try to hold them accountable. So when we tried to hold the Democrats accountable, they ran interference for them, lied about it, and smeared healthcare activists.
That could destroy democracy if you hold them accountable.
Allowing members to offer a motion to vacate the chair is seen as an insurance policy by hardline Republicans. What do you mean? Well, many fear that once entrusted with the speaker's gavel, that McCarthy is going to refuse to threaten a partial government shutdown in an effort to get President Biden to make concessions on policy. So these hardliners they're ready to shut down the government to get what they want in a fight with President Biden, but they know McCarthy won't. So they want this so if you're not going to do what we want to be able to get fucking rid of you. It was threatened again in July 15th by then Freedom Caucus Chairman Mark Meadows of North Carolina. Oh, wait. So this rule was only used twice in the history of the Congress to vote out a sitting speaker. And the last time it was used was July 15th by then Freedom Caucus Chairman Mark Meadows of North Carolina. Meadows sought to force a vote on Republican Speaker John Boehner's decision to strip him from the House Oversight Committee for voting against a trade bill.
What bill was that by any chance? It wasn't the TPP or whatever, right?
I don't know.
Oh.
Doesn't matter, because Boehner's allies within leadership, they prevented that motion from going directly to the floor, instead sending it to the House Rules Committee. 3 months later, John Boehner resigned. Why did he resign? Because they weren't going to let that motion die. And he knew he couldn't get around that. And he didn't want to be speaker if he knew they were going to get rid of him, because he wasn't going to do what they wanted. 3 months later, Boehner resigned after conservatives indicated they would not drop the issue. Do you see how when you have leverage, you can beat around and knock around your leadership? Well, the Democrats will never do that. The squad would never do that. In the aftermath of Boehner's resignation, McCarthy made a bid for speaker, but was forced to abandon that goal after opposition from the Freedom Caucus. Since Republican only held a narrow majority, the nearly 24 member group had veto power over who became the fucking speaker, just like the squad had veto power over who became the speaker last time. And they didn't use it.
How come?
What?
It's really incredible to me that that's only the fear of Kevin McCarthy, the Republicans having it handled where they're going to get him out.
Yeah, they'll beat his ass, and the Republicans, but the Democrats are afraid of him. And they're afraid of Nancy Pelosi. There's nothing the Democrats aren't afraid of.
And also, what are these extremists going to do? Now they already killed Roe v. Wade, by the way.
Right.
What are they going to do?
What else
Not give as much money to Ukraine?
Yes, that's it. Boehner's successor as Speaker, Wisconsin Republican Paul Ryan, only agreed to run for the top spot after receiving a pledge from the Freedom Caucus that it would not try and oust him in the same manner. When Democrats took control of the House in 2018, Speaker Pelosi changed the rules.
What? To
specify that only a party leader could offer a motion to vacate.
That's pretty recent she did that.
Yeah, it's in 2018. The Freedom Caucus has more than 24 members and has been working to educate new members on how to navigate pressure from leadership. This is something the squad and the Democrats will never do. The Progressive Caucus, they'll never navigate pressure from leadership. You know how they navigate it? They knuckle under to it and then wag their finger at progressive activists like they're the problem.
And put on a pretty dress.
And then they call Ryan Grimm, David Sirota, and Cenk Uygur to go run interference for them. And they do. That group knows that any path for McCarthy to get to 218 votes, because that's what you need to become speaker, that number needed, it has to go through them. Just like it had to go through the squad, but the squad didn't do anything for you because they're not ever going to do anything for you because the squad are phony pretenders, and they only had a spine when Bernie Sanders was their leader, and Bernie Sanders has disbanded his movement, and he's become a full-time simp for a pro-war, anti-worker party and Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders does not do anything for you anymore, and the squad doesn't have a leader, so they don't do anything, so now they are worthless. It also wants, what this Freedom Caucus, it also wants to permanently ban congressional earmarks. It wants to require that legislation be publicly available for at least 72 hours before a vote takes place. And it wants to diversify the steering committee that has power over committee assignments. So these are the things it really wants. And what are they using to get these? They're using their threat of ousting him. So Kevin McCarthy can decide now if he wants to give power back to the committees and the individual members, or he can face votes on his speakership every other month. The choice is his alone. So do you see what they're doing? They're playing super hardball with the speaker. They're saying, we not only want that rule, we want fucking everything. Go ahead, Kurt.
I just remember that earmarks thing they want to get rid of. Mm-hmm. That was one of Ben Gleib's main planks when he was running for president. I think I saw him on TYT recently. Kevin McCarthy's going to get Ben Gleib's agenda done.
That's right.
Of no earmarks.
Get rid of earmarks. Do you understand what the reason why the Democrats will never do that stuff?
Yeah, because now, especially now that Kevin McCarthy is. Oh,
yeah, because the Democrats, the party of good people like Jimmy Kimmel,
now they can really not get it done.
Is it because they're stupid? No, it's not a mistake. It's not that they're naive. It's that they do not give a shit and don't want to. You mean even Bernie, especially Bernie.
I no longer believe when we got him on Who Is America, and he goes, "I'm afraid that you're taking advantage of this man." He saw through that makeup. He knows to play Ben and Jerry Bernie. All shucks. All shucks. I go, oh, he's too nice. He won't be. He's not that.
He
dumb.
knows what he's doing. So there you go. We said it. I said it during Forced to Vote. The Republicans always demand shit from their speaker. The Democrats wouldn't. And then we had people like Cenk Uygur, Ryan Grimm from The Intercept. We had David Sirota from The Lever. We had all those people who were supposed to be lefty progressives lie at the behest of those people to keep us from actually making progress.
Well, so they
but the Republicans are doing it. They're not going to. You don't see the Republicans coming out wagging their finger at the right wingers for demanding shit for their vote for speaker, do you? No, but you did get Cenk Uygur, Ryan Grimm. You got people like David Sirota. You got all those people coming out. People like the DSA. All those people coming out and defending politicians when they should have been pressuring them like the fucking Freedom Caucus does to their leadership. But they'll never, and that's why we can't have nice things as progressives or Democrats, is because people like the DSA, Cenk Uygur, Ryan Grimm, David Sirota, they all lie to protect politicians when we actually have a moment to use our leverage.
That's why they call the intercept, because when you had the moment, they intercepted it.
That's right. We had a moment.
To use a Sirota football or a Ryan Grimm football analogy.
We'll see you November 19th and 20th in Austin, Texas. November 26th, that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, in Burbank. And then all December, we're going to be in Los Angeles doing Friday night shows. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member. While you're there, you get all of our videos unedited. jimmydore.com, not Jimmy Dore Comedy.